Steve here with Table Rock Tea Company. Well, January has started off very vigorously here at Table Rock Tea Company. Last year, 2022, it seemed that we were under a year of rest and acceleration. We expanded by leaps and bounds. It's still kind of unfathomable how much we grew as a company and as people, but for sure as a company this last year. So now that we are moving forward, I'm retired out of medicine. I've got time and I have hit the ground running this year for sure. Started with the shop. The shop has been neglected here for quite a while. We just had projects stacking up and stacking up. And I kind of want to show you a little bit of what I'm doing, because I think 2023, at least for me, is a year to organize things, to get everything streamlined, to get rid of things that we don't need, things that we don't want, get those things that we really do want, but in a very good and efficient form. And I want to start with my shop. So let me show you around here. I have showed you guys this bench before. This is what I call my 90% bench. The reason I call it my 90% bench is because I can do 90% of my projects right here on this bench. A couple of tricks to it. This is an old institutional bench, so you can find them from government agencies or universities. They're really nice and deep, and they're only, I guess, about, 5-6 feet wide. But the main point is that this is all metal. So this is a metal top, and what I've done is essentially turned this into my drilling area. I do a lot of hole drilling here, and this is for mostly for metal, that kind of thing. But this table is really cool, which you can see here. I've got, well, let me start with the drill, okay? So this is probably the most clever part, if I do say so myself. I took a floor drill press, okay? That's the key, floor drill press, and cut the main post off of it. I then, because this is a metal surface, welded that to the table, okay? So the welded surface goes up, and then it will wobble. So what I did is welded these supports. So you can see there's a support structure in the back and this sort of 3-point frame. That way it's not going to wobble, okay? It's nice and sturdy. And so by doing that, what you end up getting is these posts are pretty universal, so you can always just swap the head off. The head just comes off with these two little Allen keys here, so it'll just slide right off. And so these posts, these shafts, are pretty universal. So if your head ever goes bad, you can just pop that off and get a new one. But what's really cool about this table is that you can mount now a floor drill press, which has a much bigger throw, okay? So you can go farther up and down, and it also has so much more power than just a desk top or a little bench drill press. So you get kind of like the benefit of all of it this way. I always mount mine in the center. This is about maybe the third table I've built like this. And I believe this will be my last one because I'll just keep moving this one. I like that so much. So yeah, so it's mounted in the center so that the drill press is as back as far as possible. So this is actually almost touching the wall here. All right. And then I've got my Shop Fox adjustable clamp. This can actually move forward and left, right. So that way you can just kind of center a piece and walk it down for the drill. So I always have that on there. And then this thing is absolutely critical. I always have this 5, I'd love to have a 6, but a 5-inch vise anvil. And I like it in this configuration because these jaws right here can hold pipes, or the other ones can hold regular stuff. This is just swiveled out of the way. You can move it around. And I always mount it on the front right corner. I actually bolt it in, so I drill holes through and bolt it in. You can usually only get the 3 bolts. But that way it's nice and secure. And when you mount it on the front left corner, you have access to this whole surface here. I can do so much stuff. I've got a little clamped on vise here. It's usually just used for either setting my welding rod or whatever on there. That's the other thing. So back to the reason on this table, right? So it's all metal, which means I do a lot of welding here. And so you can take the welder, which fits nicely underneath. I have a Hobart Handler 140, absolutely love this. But you can clip the grounding clip right to the metal bench and ground the whole thing. So that is a super cool feature of having it all metal. So anyhow, then this drawer, I usually just have all my drills here. So this is essentially my welding and drilling section. Over here I've got my clamps and these, I call these the sacrificial tools. These are clamps that I use in welding, so they sometimes get hit with the torch and bite the bullet, so I don't like to use my good tools for that. And I have my welding helmet in here and some extra wire. I use a flux core wire feed welder. So I tell people that I can weld, but I'm not a welder. I'd never insult a welder by saying that I am one. Here I've got more drill bits. These are hole saws, Forstner bits, manuals for all my tools. I think this one's, no, okay. And that's my little map gas and stuff like that for doing solder stuff. So that's basically the deal. So that's the 90% bench. I really, really like it. If you can find one of those desks, you know, they're usually probably going to cost you maybe 200 bucks, something like that. Well worth it. So solid work surface. They're nice and level, nice and smooth. You can do so much stuff on there. So the next over here, I finally broke down and bought one of these Craftsman tool carts. So I finally was able to put all my tools and nicely arranged, and yeah, I'm determined this time around to take better care of my tools. What's nice here is this particular one has a charging station, so I can do my batteries up here, and yeah, man, it's just really cool. Just holds so much stuff, and yeah, just try to keep everything tidy. I might have left surgery, but the surgical nurse is still very present within me for sure. So I just built this today. This is a rack. One of the things I'll be getting rid of, I absolutely can't stand these little parts drawers. They drive me nuts because these are so flimsy. They always get stuck. They don't, you can see I'm having trouble even getting this one out. These always break. And then if a screw goes wonky, it gets stuck. I just hate them. I hate them, hate them, hate them. And so what I like instead are these right here. So these are little parts bins. I get these at Harbor Freight. Actually, I just bought a bunch more. They're right here. There's your part number. You can get those at Harbor Freight. And these are really good. These are sturdy, solid. They hold a good bit of stuff. And so, yeah, I think it's like 15 bucks for 20 of them. So that's awesome. So I built this rack today. This basically fits in here, and 10 will fit across. So I've got 12 bays of those. And then down here are 4 bays for the bigger blue bins, which are these, which I believe are also Harbor Freight. So yeah, like I said, this year we're gonna organize everything. Tired of losing stuff. Yeah, and I'll probably go over some of the tools that we have gotten later. I'll do a tool review especially for these guys right here, these chop saws. One's for metal, one's for wood. I'll explain those maybe in another video, do a review. So yeah, 2023, a year of organization. Hope yours is going well so far. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to see what else is brewing here at Table Rock Tea Company.